Most often when I'm using Word, instead of using a template to create a document, I just start with a blank document. And I do that by clicking here and have to click again. And now I have a blank document. And this document is based on the normal template. And as you see, the text in this document uses the Calibra font, and it's 11 points high. Now, I like 12 points by default. 12 points is 1 pica, and as you remember, most typewriters produce type that was 1 pica high. You can change it, of course, to 12 points, and now if you keep typing text, it will say in 12 points because that's what the current paragraph is. But if you go back to but if at some point you reapply the normal style to a paragraph, the normal style is set to 11 points. So if you want to permanently change it for the document or for all documents in the future, we go here, we right click on the normal style, we say modify, and this is where we can choose the font we want to use and the size. And as I say, I normally use 12 points. If your reader is older and doesn't have as good eyesight, you might want to try 14 or even 16 points. You also might want to try a different font if that's what you like. Some people like to be more unique in what they produce, and you pick a font that is your style. Anyway, now if you look down here where it says add to the styles gallery, that just means that this style will appear up here in this list. And since normal always does and should, we're just going to leave that checked. You can either change it so it applies only to this document. Remember, this document is based on the normal template, but its changes are unique to this document. If we click this as well, then any document produced in the future is also going to be based on this template. So if I say OK after making this change, now any blank document we produce in the future should have that change. And if we go look at where the normal document is stored, we should see that that's been updated. The normal template has been updated. So the normal template is stored over here by default in your user folder, app data, roaming, Microsoft templates. Now, this hasn't been updated in quite a while. This is the original normal document that I had when I installed Word on this machine, but I have moved this to a different folder, and here it is today, and this hasn't been updated yet. Now if I save this document, we'll save it as test or something, and close down Word. Whoops. Let's go see if the normal document got updated. Yes, it did. See, it got updated to today's date. So that change was made to the normal document template, DOT document template, is stored over here in the templates file. And as I say, by default, this is in app data, roaming Microsoft templates, but I've moved it over here where I can see it and back it up easily and so on. You may or may not want to do that. Now let's go create another Word document, And if we do that, we'll open up Word. We'll create a blank document. And now we see that the paragraphs are in 12 point instead of 11 point. So that's how you make a permanent change to the default normal template. One thing I found interesting in the normal document template that comes with Word is that if we look at the paragraph specs in the normal style, here's the normal style. You see we've changed it to 12 as we did a minute ago. And if we go down here to Format and we look at the paragraph characteristics, the normal paragraph puts 8 points of spacing after each paragraph, which gives a little bit of room between them, makes them stand out, not too much, and it's not a bad number. If you want a whole line, you'd move this up to something like 12 points or 13. But what I found interesting was that instead of being single spaced or spread out some more, it is something called multiple spaced. And whoops, I didn't want to do that. Let's cancel this and go back to what it was. Let's look at that again. I said Format, Paragraph, and as you see, the default here was multiple 1.08 lines. So that means that this text, the lines are spread out just a hair. They're spread out 8/100ths of a line extra. And that makes it probably more readable. And depending on the font you're using, you might want to use something like that, more or less. Many fonts are designed not to need that, and you can make them single space. So, something to note. I'm going to not make any changes to this. I'll go back, and since we're not updating the template itself, we don't check this. And we say cancel.